feature of my Sales
Suite Pro.
It's the ability to dynamically create a total cost output TCO and cost per page CPP as soon as you get your current asset list put together. So whether it's you put them in manually, you do an import from a data collection agent, or if it comes in through our app by doing a walkthrough, as soon as you get a current asset list, the total cost output gets calculated, as well as if I scroll over here, you'll see that my cost per page on those devices got calculated. Now, TCO and cost per page are calculated a lot of different ways, and my Sales
Suite Pro
allows you for that variability to do it the way you feel most comfortable with. So there's a lot of different things that go into it. If I select one device, I select the Sharp device, you'll see a TCO of $129. If I go over and look at a couple of different things that are going to impact that. So volume will impact that. We had meter reads, and based on those meter reads, we calculate these volumes. So the number of pages printed is going to impact my total cost of output. And the reason for that is it's going to be based on the cost of the supplies. So I've got the cost of the supplies and I've got the cost of the device. So here's my cost of the device, and I have a 60-month depreciation period. So that can go into my TCO. And then I also have any accessories that might go with that. So we can build that up. If I go over here and click on maintenance part, I have coverage. So coverage will impact how much of those consumables are used based on how many pages are printed. By default, we do 5% mono, 20% color. You can change that at any level. So you can change it at the device, at a group of devices, or even at the project. So depending on the kind of coverage that that device is putting out, for instance, a marketing department may be a lot heavier than some other, printing emails. So that's going to change. And then we also have our consumables. So in this case, here are all the consumables for that device. You can select which ones are used, but based on the yield, it's going to impact how much of that's used based on the coverage, therefore impacting my TCO and my cost per page. So you got to really understand all these different pieces, and even labor-wise, you could apply labor if there's a cost to that with doing their maintenance. Now, the other thing to look at with is total cost output and cost per page is back in our settings, we can set a lot of things that will impact that. So under preset values, these are our depreciation periods. So that's going to impact if you include hardware in there. If you don't want to include hardware in there, then you just eliminate the depreciation. Purchase calculation. So the date that the device was introduced into that environment is going to impact your page counts if you're using meter reads. So here in purchase calculation is where we set that up. Can do discounts and consumables. I can do the coverage across everything. My TCO calculation, I'm going to click in here to see what I want to include in that TCO. So for instance, if I want a paper included, I would click here to change that. So again, a lot of levers that can impact what I do on that device. Now, if I go down again and look at my assets, if I go and look at my pricing, I can override. So whatever's in our overreaching database is how we're going to calculate these, for instance, prices here. But if you want to override that, you can just put in, for instance, your discount percentage and go ahead and click save. And you'll see we then calculate for the customer price, a lower price. So you don't have to take the default information. You can override that. I did it for one device. You could do it for all the devices. You can do it for the consumables. So you can really fine tune your client's TCO to get to a number that both you and the client agree to. And that's the point of a TCO, to get everybody to agree that our current state costs are X.